Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Good.
All
Good.
is well in my neighborhood.
Good to
It's
see you.
all
All
it's
day.
raining cats
I
and
think.
dogs here.
Oh, you got rain. So you must have sent some sunshine here because we're starting to get a little sunshine. We've had like torrential rain the last couple of days, but we need it because we've been in a drought situation.
Yeah, they're in severe storms. Severe storms.
Yeah,
We're on the very tip of it. We're going to miss it.
And I'm
you're
about
gonna
to
miss it.
I'm about to get hit by it. So that's why we were
Yeah.
talking about generators earlier.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
might-
No, you need them.
Yeah.
We might hear some thunder in the background, right?
It's the new
Maybe.
normal.
Yeah. I love thunder, though. I
like
love a
storms.
nice summer thunderstorm.
So does
Yeah, I like
Thor.
to sit on the porch and watch it coming, but I can watch it and then all of a sudden it'll turn into Helene again. So I have to be careful. I remember I kept saying, "Oh, it's just a little rain. It's not going to be a big deal." I did. I was like a fool, and it just didn't stop. It just didn't stop. So
Well, the Scandinavians say the tall whites are at it again, right? Yeah.
when I was younger, we would say God's beating up his wife. That's why it's that's what. Yeah, yeah. Well, when I was yeah. That's why it's raining.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Everybody in Kokomo used to stand out on their front porch and watch it roll in until 2013 and 2015. And now they're a little
Yeah.
more skittish.
It's a little more intense. Yeah.
I think we used to say they're bowling or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were
That's how myths start.
yeah. Mom used to tell us God and Jesus and everybody were up there bowling.
Right.
That's what thunder was.
Yeah. We
See,
said
that's the
God-
one I remember,
Yeah.
Yeah.
was the bowling.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to love this regression. It's a little bit of a surprise because I didn't do this regression. Deb did.
Oh
Not me.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they-
no, Deb 1, not Deb 2. Deb 1. She'll be here in a little bit.
Okay.
So it's very, very interesting. The first part is kind of just starting the scene of an encounter he had when he was 18.
Okay.
So give me one moment and I will play that one.
In a visited time when he was about 18 years old, laying in bed, can you take yourself to that time? Mm-hmm. I'm on my side sleeping and I turn over. There's a shadowy figure with yellow eyes straddling me. It has a lot of weight to it. It's very thin, but it's very heavy. Like it's putting all of its body weight on my chest. I can't breathe. And I feel like I can't move. Like I feel rigid. Like it's got a hold of me or like doing something. Controlling or showing its dominance. I don't knowing what I am. Okay, so we're going to freeze this moment just for a moment. To be whatever this is cannot harm you. It cannot move, it's frozen, but it can telepathically answer questions. So we would like to know where does this being come from? Are you asking that?
That graphic was creepy. Just saying.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, good Lord, who was that?
It's like it reminds me of a succubus or something, you know?
Yeah.
It kind
Good Lord. Well, they were out in the
Well,
heat. I mean, it must be hot.
That's
where
what
they-
happens when you put it in the description, and that's what it gave you. I was like, oh,
Good.
okay.
Lord. They
Yeah,
look
so-
like someone I saw in the grocery store the other day. Anyway, I'm telling you, it's hot down here, brother. People are looking, So so he was 18 when it happened, or is he 18 now?
When it happened,
So he's an older gentleman now.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And that regression was done here at Mystical Awakenings
Okay.
by Deb.
You hear a lot about those kind of things. I had something similar. Didn't look like that, but someone got on my bed when I saw that praying mantis. And when I started having experiences in the beginning, I would feel before I opened my eyes, because sometimes I was afraid to look, I would feel the weight. That's why I knew they were real, because my mattress, went down. So that's weight. That's gravity. That's something.
Yep.
So yeah, I can relate to that.
That's reality there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something you can relate to.
Well, if your mattress goes down,
Yeah.
or like when they touch you, you're touching me. That's real. That's real time.
Right.
But now, and so felt dominance. Obviously, they're on top and they're on your bed, and he didn't get an. I guess on the next one we'll find out where they're from, because Dee said, "Well, let's ask where you're from," and then we cut it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Okay, so we don't know where he's from yet.
Right.
Not yet. No.
Is it a she? Is it a?
Deb.
The person being regressed?
No.
No,
Oh, the
because that
being?
looked like a woman to me with the eyes.
I'm not sure. I just got back, and right at the tail end of that, I came running in and sat down, so I didn't even
Well,
hear the
welcome,
clip.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
Have
you.
a
So
Well-
Deb, this was the clip where he was laying in bed and he was 18. So it's after the library part.
And
Okay.
Just so
he
you
had
can
no
find out.
eyes.
Mhm. Yeah. I believe he assumed it was a she.
It was the she. Yeah, I get it.
Now, did he? I guess I didn't catch. He didn't seem like he was really freaked out about it. Was he? I mean, or like he's scared to death or something. I mean, no, I didn't hear him say that. Like I was scared to death, or
Right.
No, but remember, he's in a. I think you put him in a deep trance.
right.
You can
Right.
feel the trance, so he's
Uh-huh.
calm.
Yep.
And he is older now, and
Yeah.
it's something that it's he kind of remembers it, so he has worked on this.
Yeah.
Some of his regression is with things that he already knew. Some, I believe, or not. So, but this he did.
Mm.
He's dealt with this since he was 18.
Let's see. If it was me, I would have said I was so much older then. I'm younger than that now. So. All right.
And you can hear the emotion in his voice. You'll hear it in the next clips too, where you can
Yeah.
tell that this is something that he has carried for a very,
Mhm.
very long time.
Oh,
He has a lot of healing to do for sure, as anybody would.
yeah.
Stance.
I had a similar experience. I mean, something came around the bed. It was a female energy and held me down. I couldn't talk. It had its hands around my throat, and it took everything I had.
There goes the children audience.
That's right. So I,
Sorry, that was. I'm sorry. We'll edit that out.
I'll never forget that myself. That what you're saying, it's definitely has an effect on you. And in my brother moved in that place after me and had the same experience. So
Wow.
That's interesting.
Oh my God.
So Deb too, have you ever experienced anything like that?
I've experienced, like when I was really little, I have a really clear early memory of being in my bed and feeling somebody lay down next to me. And at one point, I opened my eyes up and it looked like a big black cloud. To me, I thought it was like a worm, a big black worm cloud looking thing. And I felt something in my face, just like this. Like it was here and it was here, right in my face. And it felt like it started trying to suck the air out of my mouth, like I couldn't breathe. And I got really scared and I started screaming and woke the whole house up. And then my mom and dad are like, "Oh, you had a bad dream. You had a bad dream." But it felt like something was right here in my face and it was trying to breathe, trying to pull the air out of my lungs. And then I didn't have anything else like that for a long time, but I've had multiple times throughout my life where I've been in bed and like in that like almost hypnotic space right before you drop off to sleep and feel someone sit on my bed. Does distinct weight to where I look up to see who's sitting on my bed and there's no one there. And but other than that, I mean, I've never had anything actually like lay on top of me and try to crush me or anything like that. But I have had, I don't like that. When they get right here in your face, my eyes were closed because I could feel it right here trying to stare at me. And then when I tried to open my mouth, that's when, I couldn't breathe. I don't like that. Even now, when I think about it, I get goosebumps because it grosses me out. It creeps me out really bad.
Right.
That's messed up, Deb. Jeez.
This is messed up. There's a whole lot about my life that's messed up. Trust me.
That's why we love you.
I survived though. I'm the Energizer Bunny. I just keep getting up and getting right back at it.
Yes, you do.
But now
You're
you're praying
amazing.
mantis. Getting back to that thing, you didn't. You saw, you felt the weight and all that, but you
They were over me.
over top of you,
Yeah, they were looking at, but they were close. It was like I got lost in the eyes.
right?
Yeah, but the weight of the bed, that makes it material. Even if you don't see anyone, because people can cloak and all that, but there had to be some type of weight to make your bed sink.
Mhm.
Well, was this the one that you said that somebody was with you too, right?
No, this
No.
woman told me it was going to happen
Oh, okay.
at after a conference. She
Okay.
said in 3 days it was going to happen. And at
Wow.
first I didn't believe her, but the third night it did.
Wow. Crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys ready for the next one?
We are.
All right.
Asking where do you come from? Were you stunned, taken aback, almost like it wants to leave without answering? Time, so many two places being. I can't fight it. It keeps on saying Orion. Can you ask this being what it wants from me? It's checking up on me. It's checking up on my status. It touches me, like it's touching my arm, straddling me, and then it'll touch my arm, and it's like it can download breathing rate and heart rate and sugar levels and labs just by touching. Okay. Can you ask this being, but you are connected to it?
Did you guys catch that? He said where he was from.
I didn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear it.
Here.
It kind of garbles, but he says, he goes, they don't want me to say it, but Orion.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't hear that. Interesting.
Hmm.
And they were just there to check up on him. Is that what he said?
Yeah, they could put
Always
their
the
hands
simple
on him
answer.
and get all kinds of information.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting because in the literature, it talks about the people from Orion are darker skinned people. Now they've been portrayed as what you may see were people of color on Earth, or very humanoid looking, but they're darker.
Yeah, there's a lot mentioned that there's definitely a break in. Some of the Orions are self-serving, and some are very giving and loving.
You find that in you find that in the
Yeah.
Palladians, even though that we talk more about, they're blonde and beautiful and all that, but there's some of them allegedly served with the Nazis,
Right.
or the Nazis. So, and the Greys. So in that way, they're very human-like. They go to war with each other. They fight each other. You got benevolent and malevolent.
Now, the recordings that the Law of One were made from, that lady was regressed. What was the anyway, they were Ra. It was Ra that was giving the information.
Yeah, Ra. Yeah, I have that book here.
Right. And the only they'd always have to stop sometimes because some negative entities from the Orion system were trying to tone in on her and drain her
Mhm.
or mess her up. But they definitely said it. I think she said it was from the Orion system. But yeah, it's quite a diverse group there. I mean, it's a huge constellation for one thing, and it's very distinct how it's laid out too, the belt and all that, and the pyramids might have been made in that progression to represent that too. That's the information there, yeah. And whereas some of the sites in Central America and all that were based on the Pleiades.
On the constellations.
And it's interesting I say
There's
that.
a wonderful book called The Orion Ministry. I'm sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's a wonderful book called The Orion Mystery.
I read that.
Maybe he can read it again or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Deb. Yeah, it's a good book.
That
I'm
might be
sorry,
good for him. Throughout his regression, I think it's he does deal with the good and the not so good.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
very protected by some of them, but then then there's the others who
Yeah, I think it's very important that we always remember that as experiencers and researchers, because it's really easy, especially now with the narrative that's going, well, they're demons and all, that they're just like us in the sense of, they have that. There's some folks who are neutral, just kind of checking us out. There's some who, we're like rats to them, we're just get rid of them. They're unevolved. And then there are those who say, yeah, let's see where this is going.
Right.
And I think it's very important because we can start lumping people into groups like we do with each other. But also, when people say, well, what do they want? Well, what they are you talking about? I mean, there's so many species. You know what I mean? So let's make the conversation a little more specific.
Right.
exactly.
Because those other conversations aren't helpful
Mhm.
Yeah.
So true.
to me.
When they say they and you say there's so many species, oftentimes it's like with this man, it's one certain, they're from Orion, and they have different agendas. Same species, different
Like
ones.
human beings. Like human beings. We
Yes.
have different agendas.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We have different agendas.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Boy, it's nice to have you back on, Michael.
It's good to be back. And just think when I
It just
retired
fit nice,
in 1 year.
just
Oh
like
my
coming
God.
home.
Yeah. It's just good. It's just good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
always
well,
good
never mind.
to have you around, my friend. Always good.
It's good to be around. I haven't told my people yet, so
Oh, yeah,
I,
but
don't, I can't tell them until April.
I was going to say they're going to watch this and they're going to go, "Uh-oh." They're not going to watch this.
I hope not.
Oh God.
Mary, you can do something. Please. You can
Mary
put some
magic.
Yeah.
The Mary magic.
Yeah.
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 You know, going back to the magic, I'm thinking about, I think you just talked about it, Michael, about like the galactic wars. And I'm a firm believer that all of that stuff is happening as we speak. Like, you know, when you research it, they talk a lot about it being, you know, 1,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, but it's that battle is still playing out. And
Oh,
that's
no question.
where all the
No
light
question.
and
No question.
is to fight. I personally feel that this entity, and this just my opinion, I feel like this is more arcanish. This is an archon versus an actual, you know, extraterrestrial. I've started thinking that extraterrestrials are more interdimensional than actual physical. Like if you're dealing with something physical, you're dealing with something that's negative and it's probably going to take you. If you're dealing with something that's coming, bringing you consciousness or making contact in, you know, a spiritual manner, I feel like those are more.
But you know, you can be both. You can be both physical and interdimensional.
Yeah.
I don't know if it just has to be either or. You know, when we heard one of our elected leaders talk about people being demons, but when you look biblically, and I'm not saying that's the only place to look, that's my expertise. You know, the demons in the Bible did not have bodies. They were invisible. You know, and so and you also have to say, what does a demon need with a spaceship? You know?
Yeah.
But that's where we talked at the beginning. There's so many they're energy beings. They're beings, the Greys, the Palladians, the Arcturians. There's so many out there. Some of them can travel, and they may not be all extraterrestrial, like you said, Mary, and they don't need a ship at all. So we live in a universe that is teeming with life.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to kind of get used to. And the more we can say we don't know, the more open we can be,
Right.
because there's always more questions than answers.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I often thought, you know, if they're really highly advanced, they just got to think of where they want to be,
Yeah.
you know, and vibrate into that frequency. And then when they're there, they're saying, hey, maybe they manifest a ship while they're here. They don't actually come in a ship, but they manifest it while they're
It's
here.
so much. Yeah. I'm reading a book now called They Flew, and it's written by this Latin brother. He's I think he's Catholic, or he was Catholic. He's a very erudite man. And he was talking about these human beings who could levitate, right?
Mhm.
And bilocate. Like I could say, you know, I saw Mary today. I know Mary is up in Nashville, but I saw her here in Asheville. What are you crazy, Michael? She lives, you know, a lot of Buddhists can do that, and but they can bilocate. So it's not just that you have to be an extraterrestrial to do it.
Right.
There
right,
are
right.
some Hindu saints and mystics and Catholic saints and mystics, Teresa of Avila, that they can levitate. So it's interesting, but nobody talks about it. Catholic Church talks about it because they're open to that. But it's just so much going on that we don't know about. We use 3% of our brains, 4% maybe, if that.
And maybe we're extraterrestrial too, you know, we just don't realize it.
That's true. I think that's why I think that's one of the big reasons they come to help us is we're capable of doing all those things. We're capable of deciding we want something and to be able to create it almost instantly and be able to go anywhere. And I think that's the purpose of connecting with people, to amp up their vibration and help them remember their gifts so that they can get back to that level. Because once we move completely to 5D, that's where we're going. Like everything manifests just like that. All you got to do is want it. You just
Right.
have to tap into it.
Yep.
Just like they do.
It's the law of the universe. I mean, it's one of the laws that you have to levitate towards or
Yeah.
realize, or, you know,
Remember.
absorb or remember. Yeah.
I think you also, I think a lot of that too depends on, I don't know, but it would seem to where you are in your state of evolution.
Right.
If you're a young soul, like if you're a soul that was Hitler or a Genghis Khan or whatever, you may not be there yet because your soul was what it was then, like probably thousands of years ago, whatever. We weren't the older souls that we are now. But I think, as you were saying, Mary, as we get older and more evolved, that's not necessarily in that order, because we know age doesn't mean that you start to remember those things, or you start being able to accept that I have that potential in me, and then you start seeing the results of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a young soul or an infant soul or a baby soul, and it's just about power and sex and greed and war, you're not there yet.
Right.
Right.
You're
and unfortunately, we have a lot of these people in our leadership. They're young souls.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They think they're a body with a soul and not a soul with a body.
Yeah. But we were all that way at one point.
Right.
When you do your regressions or whatever, it's a lot of people, I was the Queen of Sheba and whatever. But some of us, we would just like, just everyday people, just, and you evolve over lifetimes. And that, at least metaphysically, that seems to be part of the story. But it's always these people who gravitate to power.
Right.
Yep, they have to have the power.
And not know what to do with it.
Right.
All right, so you guys
Deb?
ready for the next one? Oh, what were you saying, Deb?
I just wanted to tell Deb that from here I can still see the hole in your tongue from biting your tongue.
Me?
Yeah. I could just feel that you had lots to say there.
Oh,
Yeah. Why didn't you say it, Deb?
I didn't. No, I wasn't. I kind of agree with what Mike said, basically. I mean, about people. Yeah. And about people in power. Yeah. I'll bite my face off before. But yeah, I agree with everybody.
The whole face was getting better.
We're not going to go too deep in the rabbit hole today, right? We should all get together on a Friday and Zoom and have a cocktail and just kick it around.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that would be. I need to commune with my.
That way I don't have to drive
tribe.
anywhere, and
I need to commune.
I
with
can
my
just
tribe,
put my bottle here and keep pouring while we talk.
Let's do it.
We've done that a few times.
I know we need to do it.
It works
Let's try to do it
That
before
would
the
be-
summer's over.
It
Yeah.
works well.
That's the one thing I love about the internet that used to be.
Yeah,
not,
it
I
brings
feel
us-
like it does. I felt like I was on a deserted island for like 30 years, and now I'm
Yeah.
with my people.
Technology helps if we use it right. But anyway, I guess it's time for our next.
Yeah.
Ready for
Is
the
it
next
time?
one?
Yeah.
All right.
We're ready.
Don't want to answer my questions because it doesn't like being interrogated. It's not. I'm not supposed to ask the questions. I'm just supposed to lay there and be quiet. Right now, we are giving it power to take control of this moment. And the being in this moment does not have control. It's checking on the 3 chips. 3 chips? Do you know where they have it? I do. One really bothers me, but the other 2 don't. One in my ear. One in my inner thigh. A quite private area. And somewhere in the middle of my chest or stomach. Feels very heavy. The center of your chest? It's off center to the left. It's like if it were tucked somewhere transverse colon, stomach, spleen, and pancreas area.
Can you ask why
It
you
was
have
twitching
these?
before the session, one by my groin. Like they know this is happening. And I was supposed to. They didn't want this.
So, Deb, first off, I just have to say this before everybody starts. I absolutely loved in that where you told him he doesn't have power. You're the one that has to control. Like instantaneously, it came through. And I just want to point out because she wasn't sitting here for the first clip, so I didn't really get a chance to talk about it. But in that first clip, I really liked how you said we're just going to freeze everything in time. He's frozen. He can talk to you telepathically, but he can't do anything else. That's amazing, and I'm stealing it just so you know. So if you hear me ever say that, everybody knows I stole that from Deb One. Just so okay, I said my piece.
I have no problem with that.
It's all for the good.
And thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, you know, when you're in that vulnerable state, and you feel you go back to that feeling of something totally controlling you, it is important to give them their power back, or they're not going to get anywhere with their healing because they go back to that, powerless feeling. So it seemed to work with him.
It did. It was amazing. It worked just like magic. It was instant. Yeah.
But the three implants was quite interesting.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that too. Boy, that's a lot of invasion, isn't it? It's like, couldn't one just do it?
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to wonder, what do they all have a different purpose?
Are they from three different extraterrestrial, races?
That's a good point too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't walk, you would think people with, those kind of implants, you would think it would have to wreak chaos on their energy. And you know what I mean? Like there has to be some kind of interference from it.
Well, he said he felt it, right? He said he felt it being activated. Yeah.
And
they're still in him, right?
I believe so. He believes so, yes.
It's crazy.
I don't know that, I haven't really talked to him a lot since then. Although we're planning another regression and I need to talk to you about that, Mary. But I would like to know how he's, I told him go home and listen to it. Take your time. It's a lot. But I would like to know what has transpired with him since. So we will be doing more with this person because, honestly, he's been through a great deal, a lifetime of contact. And some of us know what that's like.
He lives down in the state, right?
Yeah,
the big D, I think. Little D.
I'm not sure. We'll figure that out.
Right.
And it's not the first time that I've heard that where, we're trying to get them to ask questions and they're like, I'm not supposed to ask the questions. They told me that. And so
Right.
it really coincides with the other regressions where you get the cranky ones who are there for a purpose, usually the ones who are there for a negative reason. Those are the ones that get cranky and said, it's none of your business what we're doing.
Right. Yeah.
You
There
wanna
were a
give
few times that, he seemed to feel he was being scolded or punished for wanting to speak, even letting me ask. So, yeah, it's some pretty deep stuff.
The only other thing I would add to that is if they are on a mission, I don't have time to give you I don't have to have time to play 20 questions. Just let me do my job and get out of here. I'm just putting that out there. That's a yellow flag for me because obviously I want to know, hey man, you're feeling me up, you're in my thighs and all that. Kiss me before you do it. Do something. But no, you're just gonna feel all over me and then
Right.
go home. I mean, that's what they do at the airport.
Right.
But I'm just saying, yeah. And on bad days, I just keep going back to the airport because I'm lonely.
Yeah.
But
Most action I've had in years.
yeah, I just do that. Yeah, where you going? To the airport, man. They love me there. But that's the only other thing I would say. There's a yellow flag. Hey, come on. But sometimes it's like, look, I don't have time. This is a mission. I'm doing boom, 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 and I'm out. I'm just throwing that out there.
Right. Well, I see a yellow flag too, because to me,
Yeah.
by them doing that, it's saying, some of them, they're obviously working to help unite humanity and all beings in the universe. But if they're being this way and making this certain people, this person for sure, feel like they're going to be punished if they keep asking questions or want to talk about it, then their agenda must not be very.
It's a little, yeah. I think too, though. I'm just not trying to be contrary. I'm just looking back. Like when I had my experiences, initially I did not feel like this was helping humanity. But as I had more and more contact and I began to change, but I have the hindsight. I'm just saying, I'm just giving other possibilities for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some of them may lie and say, "Oh, I'm from Mars. I'm just hop, skip, and a jump." And then you found out they lied. So what is it? At least they didn't lie. They just said, "I don't have time, to answer all this." So I'm just giving another possibility. But if the other thing is, because I'm feeling something, especially in that heightened state where my mind is trying to grapple with this and you're on my bed and you don't know what you're feeling really until after it's over.
Yeah, and we've discussed also, like he was 18, right?
That's what regressions are for,
Yeah,
Right.
he's 18. He was 18 then, and I think he's
Yeah.
probably 20 years older than that. But we've noticed that regressions or abductions, what you want to call them, encounters back then were a little more evasive than they are now. They seem to be. Maybe they've learned, be a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
Maybe
Michael,
they
if
can
you're
already.
going to do me, give me a kiss first, right?
Yeah, or lie to me. Tell me you love me.
Yeah,
But
tell me you
don't
love
just
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't just feel all over me and then here, take a walk.
Okay, I'm all yours then.
I don't like to be used like that.
And I can't only speak from my own personal experience. I can't talk for anybody else's experience. But when, my experiences started out traumatic, it's frightening and physically physical here in this three-dimensional place, right?
Mhm.
But I reached a point about midway through, around right after the intruders thing happened in '83, where all of a sudden, it's like something in me changed. I woke up when I did what they told me to do, which was get my fear under control. My experiences changed.
There you go.
When I changed, my
There
experience changed.
you go.
And they became less physical and more consciousness and spiritual and intellectual. So when I changed, my experience changed. And that's where I learned I can't always control what happens to me, but I can control how I react to it or respond to it. And they kept, during this period of time, they kept pounding it into me. You have to get your fear under control because it will slow your process, and process was your word, not mine.
That's a
And
great
when I
point.
did, things changed.
Great point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
that's my
really
point.
is.
You
Thank
know,
you, Tom.
it's you don't know, because the fear's in the way. And so what you felt then, obviously now he's some decades older, but
Mhm.
even if you step back from it at maybe at 19 or 20, you see it different than you did at
Right.
18 or 25 or whatever. Because you're in fight or flight. It's hard to know what's really going on.
Mhm.
The physical
Right.
part of the experience stopped for me. I think the last physical contact I had was shortly after that, around early 1990s. It wasn't
Mhm.
necessary anymore. They had
Got
accomplished
it.
what they needed to accomplish with me in order to progress on to the next
That's
stage.
interesting. Yeah.
And I've
So
met a
maybe
lot of other people like me, my age, around my age group, that have had experienced the same or similar kind of thing.
I can relate to that.
So maybe it's about acceptance, and they want you to realize this is real. This is something that we're not going to harm you. We want to work with you, whatever. But this is real. Accept it. And once you hit that point of acceptance, then they no longer have to kind of force it. But I'm glad you brought that up, Deb, because we did kind of this young man, or this young to me, he's probably not that young, but we did talk about the fear. And Mary brought up the Archon issue, and I let him know, the worst thing that we can do as humans is to live in fear, especially with Archons, because they're going to feed off of that. And things are, it keeps going and going and going, and we become more fearful. And of course, that's exactly what
That's their
they
food.
want.
Yeah, that's their food.
So, hopefully he'll listen to this and have more than one person saying, come to grips with that fear. And yes, fear is a human emotion. It's hard to not have that, but at the same time, own our power and know that.
They're going to say, "You're no fun no more. You're not afraid."
Right. And then maybe he can, start progressing from there. So thank you.
All right,
You
you ready for the next one?
You're just a couple little nibbles now. You're not a full course meal. What's going on?
I'm glad you brought up the Archons, though. That's good, Mary.
You guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Shifting now, it's time for who he is, where he comes from, and what his mission is. Oh, it wants to stop me. I don't like it. It's on a mission to check up on me, but it's feeding negativity into me. It's trying to put thoughts into my head. It flashes painful memories or uses certain things as stressors. Because there are certain factions that don't want me to be alive or exist, because I don't have a right to. They said I was very resilient. It appears that they need you to exist, and if they are controlling heart rate, some help, some don't. This one doesn't want to help, it wants to have me have horrible thoughts.
Wow.
Isn't that just awful?
That's disturbing.
It is.
Yep.
But
And
that's what the entities like, the Archons, and I'm sure there's many, some reptilians, that's what they all do. Like Deb was saying, let go of that fear, right? They don't have nothing to feed off of.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
and Mary, I would also add, human beings do that too.
Mhm.
If I know
Yeah,
you're
they do.
afraid of me, I know what to trigger.
Mhm.
Well, they call them psychic vampires.
Hmm. Yeah, the thing with psychic vampires is some people drain you and they don't know they're doing it. They're just
Right,
needy people.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
But
Right.
but you do have people who I want your energy. And
Yeah.
obviously you have entities as well.
Agree.
Yeah.
So
And it's,
what
you know,
about the? No, go ahead. I was just going to ask the question, so go ahead.
Well, okay. I was just going to say it's very sad and scary that they can manipulate your thoughts that way. And you have to think that, you know, we have so many suicides and things happen on a negative level that they have some involvement there.
Yeah, I agree.
So what were you going to ask, Mary? I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, so it kind of popped in my head, like, because we were talking about dealing with everyday people who are psychic vampires, and we set boundaries. I wonder if there's, you know, energetic boundaries that could be set with extraterrestrials, other than, you know, letting go of the fear. But, you know, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe we can have that conversation with them and say, hey, I don't like that. Don't do it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
I
like the
did-
spirit world and they have to listen.
I don't know. I did that. A friend of mine, when I first started having the gray people come, and I was not sleeping at night. Well, I really didn't need to after a while, but I was just a mess. And an astrologer friend of mine said, why don't you set some boundaries? Why don't you talk to them? Even when you may think that no one's listening, but they're probably in there with you. And I said, and I'm not saying this is a formula, when I said to them, I can't have that. I'm a mess. And, you know, you hurt me. This is when they stuck the needle in my head and hurt me. And it hurt. I mean, really hurt. And I took her advice. And the next time they came, they did another syringe thing, but I could barely feel it. But I did voice it. And I'm not going to say that works. But it may. I think there's stuff you can do. You know, you keep your sage there. You maybe you wear some protective stones. Maybe whatever your religious or spiritual tradition is, you remind yourself. You put the bubble around you or whatever. There are things we can do so we're not. And I'm not saying all those will work. They worked for me, but I did say out loud, even though I felt like a fool. You know, you got to dial that back, man. That shit hurt. Ooh.
I love you.
That's okay. You can say that.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've had too much seltzer water.
No,
But we're gonna make a date and have a little something. But yeah, that worked for me. I'm not saying it's a fight. I don't want people to go, oh, Michael gave us a formula, but and you just feel like you're taking control of your situation rather than just like Deb said. I like how she said, I'm not reacting. I don't react. I can respond. You know, that's empowering to respond and set those boundaries. If they don't work, you feel like you stood up for yourself. Like, hey,
Right.
wait a minute.
But what I'm wondering is if, you know, because I know through regression work, you often hear a lot of people describe that before they have contact, they can feel it. They can feel it coming. They hear noises. They can feel the humming. So I'm almost wondering if there's steps that people could take when they start to experience that to make the experience more enjoyable or more to their comfort zone versus just something happening to them. I'm just kind of curious. It's got me spinning.
At least to be proactive. I had an entity come to me once when I was asleep, and I woke up and I tried to go back to sleep, and I could just feel. Now, could have been my fear level. That's always in there, but I just felt that this was not someone who wanted to sing Imagine or Kumbaya with me. And I was afraid to open my eyes. And I just kept telling myself mentally, I'm surrounded by the white light of Christ consciousness. I mean, I kept saying it over and over and over. A voice in my head said, yeah, right. But they left. Yeah, it did. It said, yeah, right. But they left.
Yeah.
They left.
I honestly,
I've not heard from them. And that was
I
years
feel
ago.
that it's very important for us to own our power in that. If you can feel that they're, coming close, there's times that you've all heard me say, I miss contact, and I kind of say, hey, come talk to me. But when I had my big experience, one of the things I told RJ, I was a mess. I won't lie. It was very traumatic for me.
Oh boy.
Even though they didn't do anything horrible.
You
What
don't know
was
yet. You haven't got
traumatic?
regressed.
Right. But I will. What was traumatic though for me is, when I was a young girl, I was raped, and that whole feeling of violation and
Yes.
lack of control, and somebody
told me that.
taking part of me without my permission.
Yes. Yes.
It really, really, really messed with me. So
Yes.
to deal with that, I got a little bit angry. And after a few dreams and a few visitations, I thought, you know what? I have to own my power, and I have to say, I have some control here. Did it make it stop? No. Did it make it different? Absolutely. I felt I had more control.
Mhm.
I told them, let me know when you're coming. You do not have permission to just take parts of me. And it seemed to make a big difference.
Mhm.
So, what you guys are saying, I'm totally 100% with you on that. Own your power, try to let
Yeah.
go of the fear.
Yeah. And you
Stop
know,
thinking of
you-
myself as a victim and start thinking of myself as a survivor.
Yeah,
Boom.
and you're going to be afraid a bit, but courage is not the absence of fear; it's going on in spite of it. And so, again, I'm just drawing these parallels today. We do the same thing with people.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? I bring that up because I was if I can find it, it's an old tape, old video. A guy named Bob Collier was in black and white. That's how old it was. And he had a shag haircut. That's how old it was when shags were in style. And he's talking to a group of people. I may have sent it to you. And, he's saying you can be in awe of them with their technology. You can be in awe of them, for all the reasons we are. They can walk through your wall and do all that kind of stuff. But he says, never, ever think that they're better than you because they come from the same creator that you do. They have the same soul that you do, various stages of evolution. I just thought that was so powerful because we do that with people. We give our power away. And he's saying this about ETs. Yeah, you can. I marvel at it too. That you got 45th century technology and you're using it, but you're not better than me.
Right.
And we come from the same source. You may be more evolved or less evolved, but you're not better than me. And that's power. And you can do that with people.
I like that.
Now, there's been a lot of several interviews lately, last couple of years, of people talking about reptilians have the ability to do psionics on you. So that's something that, maybe we don't have control over because it is so powerful. But, what some of us have power over, we can realize it's happening. But psionics, they can just tell you, control your mind right away somehow with a frequency. So we should be aware of that too, that people are talking about that they have that ability. So, and probably, maybe.
But you know what? I think end of story. I get it. But okay, there's always going to be that exception. But part of the spiritual journey is training your mind.
Yeah.
And you can be afraid. I can tell you tomorrow, boy, these people came to me and did blah, 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 but I still have the essence of who I am.
Right.
For whatever reason. I believe in a creator. I work on myself. I do. And these people who don't have that, or don't cultivate that, you're easier prey.
Exactly.
if I get up in the morning and let's say my thing, I don't meditate. I turn on the news. I go get the coffee. I read the news. I haven't raised my frequency.
Yes.
And so it's easier.
And
you know
that's
what
what
I
I read
mean?
really. Yeah, that's what I was
It's
trying to say. That
easier
yeah,
if I haven't, if I'm already at a low frequency.
right. That's what I'm trying to get at. So people have
You
need to
know, the
realize
archons or
you gotta raise your-
whoever.
yeah, you got to
you
raise your
know.
vibration.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to have a spiritual discipline for that.
Exactly. Exactly.
But people get up in the morning and they go to Facebook and they read what's going on in the world and they're anxious and nervous and they don't like who, what, when, where. And then they pour some coffee on top of that.
Right.
And then you wind up saying, why did my day end up like this?
Right. Yeah. Good point. And that's just really what I was trying to say too, Michael. Is that even though they have that ability, they don't have that ability with people like you said have some practices they do.
You can still have all of that, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you still have your core essence.
You're right.
You know, and that's why I love what Bob Collier was saying.
Yeah.
That, and this again, I'm drawing the same parallels with people because these people aren't gods. They die, maybe after 25,000 years, but they do die. They're more evolved technologically and what have you, but they have a spirit like we do.
Right.
And some of the 50s contactees talk about they come from, we're running out of time. They come from the same source. So, they're not better than us. And we got one more, I guess. It's almost 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are at our end time. So Michael,
Oh,
thank you for joining us.
Yes.
what?
I appreciate it.
Don't we have 3 more minutes?
Michael,
Well-
you told me you had to be somewhere by 4 o'clock. And
No,
I'm
I got to
gonna make
leave
sure-
at 4. We got 3
I'm
more
going to make
minutes.
sure you're out of here by 4
We
because
got
you
2
like
more
to
minutes.
talk.
We got 2
You
more
love to
minutes.
talk. And then I'm going to have you run over because I'm going to let you talk.
Did I talk too much?
So
No, you
good.
didn't. I love when you talk. But
Oh,
if I
God,
let you
yes.
keep talking, then you're going to be late.
Yeah,
And then
you're right.
also I got storms coming in. I got to shut my computer down so I don't get messed up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had the story.
Okay.
Yeah,
Deb, be safe. Deb Cobble,
Yeah.
I
Mary,
will.
lovely as usual. RJ and Deb. Listen, let's try and find a Friday night or something and just kick it for
Totally.
an hour or two.
Totally.
Okay.
We all
That
need
way
to
we
move.
don't have to. I don't have to go to church and I don't know.
We just
Okay.
need to move together. We need to move to some place and all together, live all together.
There you
And
go.
they have to.
Oh yeah, man.
We,
That'd
we,
be-
we have to before it's over.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Love
Very
you
true.
all.
okay, y'all. Love y'all.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.